Welcome to Voices of the Plaza, the podcast, hosted by Peggy MacArthur. This is where we amplify stories of empowerment, innovation, and success from the heart of the Global Business Plaza. Each week, Peggy introduces us to one of the creative business people, entrepreneurs, and industry experts who are shaping their fields and redefining success. Together, we'll explore unique journeys, highlight remarkable expertise, and uncover the inspiration behind their success.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Voices of the Plaza. I am excited to be here with Vannessa Lindsey. Tell us a little bit about what you do. And by the way, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today.
Thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure. It's always fun to hang out with you, Peggy. I might not show up a lot, but I'm always happy when I get here. So Vannessa Lindsey. And so what I do in this world that I'm in right now is I help people start, build, and grow their nonprofit. You know, you always find these people that are struggling. They're like, oh my gosh, I want to start a nonprofit, but I don't know how. Or you have the ones that started one and they're like, I started my nonprofit and oh my gosh, I don't know what to do next. And then you have the ones that's like, I have my nonprofit and I've had it for years, but now everything is changing and I'm like stuck, you know, and how do I take it to the next level? And so that's where I come in at. I assist people all along the way to starting it, to getting it launched and up and running. And then when we're stuck in how do we move into this feels like the 25th century, right? As fast as AI and everything is coming along. So that's what I do.
So what do you think when you introduce yourself like that? What do you think people assume that means versus what it really means? like what do you think that where is the disconnect? Because I know when you hear nonprofit, people have this idea of what a nonprofit is, and where do you think that? What do you think they think versus what it is?
I think they think that, oh, I'm going to get all this free stuff, right? And I'm going to help all these people and I'm going to get all this money and all this support to help all these people. And that is what I think that the misconception is, because I was getting ready to say I had that same misconception, but I didn't, because I had no idea what a nonprofit was when I started my nonprofit. I just knew that I wanted to help people. Someone said, well, you start a nonprofit. I was like, okay, I'll start a nonprofit, you know? And so I did it. And I was like, okay, now what is it? And people started telling me about grants and all these other things. So I had no idea what it was that I was doing when I first got started. So, but a lot of people that I meet, they had that misconception. I'm gonna get my 501c3 and then there are people just gonna be throwing money at the door, and all these people are gonna come in that I want to help, and they're gonna come and they're gonna be excited about getting my help.
And they don't see the big work step that's in between there.
Ooh, it's a lot of work, Peg. And that's why I do what I do. Because I remember when I started my nonprofit, it was so stressful. And I remember I used to cry and I used to pray, Father, please, if you help me do this, I promise I'll go back and help others. And he helped me. And we've been in existence for 40 years now, the nonprofit I started. And so he's helped me. So now I'm back helping others because I know how hard it is. And just to get that support, that's one thing that I really did not really get and I missed. And I want to make sure that I offer is that support, because a lot of nonprofit leaders, we go to sleep at night crying, stressed, and we have no one to talk to. No one knows that we are crying and suffering in silence, you know, because we can't tell them. Who do you tell? Do you tell you're bored? Oh, this is too much. I hate this, and and I'm suffering. You can't tell your staff, oh, I can't stand you, you know, because you're getting on my nerves. You know, it's like, and then you have your funders. So you have their funders that's just telling you, do this report. And so who do you go to? So I want to be that support person to say, you know what? I understand. And this is a soft place to land that's just for you. Because you know, if you know, anybody know that if you're building a business, your spouse and your kids are like, if they say that one more thing about their business to me, I'm going to lose it. They get so tired of hearing us talk about our business, you know? So it's like, who do you go to in addition to helping you get to where you're trying to go, but then to have that person. And that's what I think that I bring is that person who's been there, done that, and is still like, you know what, I got you. I understand how it feels. Let me help you get through it.
Well, and you know, you mentioned grants and you mentioned all these things. Those are great that they're out there, but those don't just come because you waved a magic wand. You have to know how to apply for them. You have to know where to find them. There's a lot that goes into getting all of these things. So just having the resources.
Yes. And it's very strategic when it comes to grant writing. And a lot of people are thinking it's easier now, and it's a little bit easier now because you have AI. But don't think the funders don't know that you're using AI. You really have to be that person still behind writing that grant. With anything, it can assist you, but it
Hmm.
cannot be the primary writer of it. You really got to put your own soul into it. And I've always said, and you're right, having those tools, and people would always ask me to write a grant form. And I'm like, I don't write grants for people. I will teach you how to write grants. You know how they say, I'm going to teach you how to
Hmm.
fail. Because someone can write a grant for you. And I didn't feel comfortable writing a grant for someone and they pay me and they didn't get it because there's no guarantee you're going to get the funding. And so it's like the little money that you may have is like throwing it in the wind, hoping that you get something when it's a lot cheaper and a lot more economical and more feasible for you really to sit down and really learn it yourself as much as you would hate to do it.
Yeah.
You find out that you love it. You know.
Well, and nobody knows your vision more than you. So if you can teach me how to write that down and write down all the things that's like you said, that's something you can do over and over and over instead of paying, and then you're out. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I like that.
Eating for life, almost like eating for life. That's when I discovered writing a grant. So I remember when I started, no one would show me a grant. It was back in the day because we started in 1987. It was back in the day when we couldn't go online and we couldn't do any research. And people would show me a proposal. I'm like, what's a proposal? They would show it to me. I say, can I get a copy? And they're like, nope. And I was like, no one will give me a copy. So I had to keep searching and searching. And I remember going to the library one day, and I went in the library and I found this flyer that said grant writing workshop. I said, I'm going. But I didn't have the money. It was expensive. Back in the day, it was expensive. So I went to the facilitator and I asked, would he give me a partial scholarship? And he gave me a partial scholarship.
Oh,
So
yeah.
nonprofits, make sure you always ask for a scholarship or a partial scholarship. Use your nonprofit status. So he gave me a partial scholarship. It was a 2-3 day class. And I remember staying up all night long just learning it. And the first grant I submitted, I came in number 20th out of like 200 applications. So we didn't get funding, but we were number 20th. Went back, rewrote it, got a little support, rewrote it. Next time it came out, we came in number 2 in the state and we were funded. And we've been funded, I've been writing grants and being funded ever since.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. So would you say that one class really, like, from there, you just kind of learned on your own and grew from that. And then of course AI helps now, but what do you think is is it just like you have the knack for it, or is it something that you just really worked hard to learn?
It's something I really worked hard to learn. Because I remember when I was denied the state, I wrote it to the state. Who writes their first grant to the state? So I wrote it to the state and they called me and they said, well, let me tell you what you did good. Let me tell you what you did wrong. And they
Nice.
were very blunt. This lady was so blunt. She told me what I did good. Then she turned around. She said, but part of this is like you just reached behind your behind and took out a bunch of stuff and threw it on the paper. I'll never forget her.
But sometimes you need that person to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What kind of crap is this? So she sat down and she told me what I did. And so I went back and I wrote it. And that's it. And just really listening. And what it is with the grant writing is paying attention to details. And you have to give the funders what they want, not what you want to have. It's what they want. Because we have to remember, they're the ones that has the money. And all of us have our money and we decide what we want to do with it. And so you have to meet their guidelines, not them meeting what you want. And that's why I think people miss out a lot. They have these grand ideas. They say, I'm going to find a funder and I'm going to tell them what they want. But the funder already knows what they want and what they want to do with the money. You show them how you're going to go about helping them reach their goals, because we all have goals.
Oh, wow. And that applies to everything. If you think about it, if you're running a business, a lot of times we think about, us, but if we're out there trying to meet other people's goals, we're going to go a lot further anyway.
Absolutely.
So, okay, you've had a nonprofit for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a time, I'm guessing maybe multiple times, where you were like, screw this, I'm done?
Oh my gosh, so many times. I'm like, I quit. I'm done. And for full transparency now, I don't even run the day-to-day operations. I'm on the board now. I have the most efficient CEO that's running the organization. She runs the day-to-day, but she still goes through a lot of those stress, even though she has me with her, right? She still goes through all the stress and everything. But all the time I'm quitting. I'm like, why am I doing this? I can just go get a job. I can make more money. I can have less stress. I don't have to cry. I don't have to have any of these things. And, and so you're like, I'm done. But then you just keep coming back. And it's like, I just keep coming back. It's like, am I just glutton for punishment? But But you know, when you see such a difference being made, and it's like, what else would I do? And so then, even though I'm not running the day to day, here I am supporting others who's running the day to day, and to help them do it. So you're still just a part of who you are.
So when was it that you were like, you know what, I've done this, I get this, I'm pretty good at this, I could help you? When was that point where you pivoted from just running your own nonprofit to realizing that, hey, nonprofits need help and I can help them?
Yeah.
What was that? What did that look like?
Well, you know, all along the way, as I was running the nonprofit, a lot of people would come to me and ask me, "How are you doing this?" For several reasons, and two of the reasons I was very successful because I was a small fish in a small pond, right? Because of the services that we did, but and I was a Black female and I was successful and I was doing it. So a lot of people want to know, how are you doing it, right? And so I was helping people all along the way. If I took one step, if somebody was behind me, I would help them. But I remember one year, what really was the pivoting point for me was in 2009. I got an award from the California Wellness Foundation, and they gave me a 3 to 6 month sabbatical. They said, "You have been doing such great work in the community. We want you to take a 3 to 6 month. We're going to pay your salary for you. We're going to give you organization money, and you just go and take care of yourself." And I was like, "Wow, this is so cool." And it's funny. They said a lot of people that we've given this to, some of the people didn't come back. I'm like, "Why wouldn't they come back, girl?" I got that sabbatical. I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to that craziness." but I went back. I kind of sort of went back. But that was really my pivoting point for me, because I was like, wow, if I see then I'm going through this, and if this California Wellness Foundation is giving this to other nonprofits, there's a lot of us that's going through this. They're like, take care of yourself. And so that was really, really a pivoting point for me. And then I had started with my nonprofit. I started a national nonprofit to help others so they could, kind of like a social franchise, like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club. I was also doing that with my organization. When I was seeing a lot of people coming saying they wanted to do it, but it was hard work. So, I have to just say, it just goes back from first starting out. I knew I needed to help people because it was so hard, Peggy. It was so hard. It's so hard. And we still talk about it today. It's like it's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And every day you think it's like, okay, it's going to be smooth sailing, but there's always another shoe to drop. There's always a fire or something to put out. Some of the most amazing things that you wouldn't think happens. And I'm like, it's just the nature of the beast, I think.
It is, and that's, I love that they gave you a sabbatical and they're like, please come back. But that's really telling, because what that says, and this, I believe, a lot of businesses, nonprofit or just people that are running their own business, they don't realize how much they're not taking care of themselves and how much they're going. And then when you do stop, it's like, oh, wow. And so what a better model to learn to take care of yourself along the way, so that you don't need a 6-month break, but you have those breaks built in so that you don't get to that point where, the first time you come up for air, you're like, oh, what am I doing? I've been drowning. Right. And so I think that what you're doing by helping other people understand how to run their nonprofit is actually helping them to not be, drowning and just in survival mode 100% of the time. You're kind of giving them that life jacket to stay afloat. And I think that's really, really amazing.
Yes, kind of like giving them permission, because it's funny. Even every time you go on a vacation or something happens. It's like you or something is happening, but you got to be able to cut off and say, I need to take care of myself, because we're so focused taking care of everybody else, and we forget about ourselves. And so that doesn't make any sense to me now in hindsight. It's like, I'm going to take care of this child and this family and this staff and this and that, but I'm suffering. It's like, and now I tell myself and I tell people that the creator, the God, the source, wherever you call him, he only gave you one thing, and that was you, your body. And this is what you're responsible for. So you need to take care of this first, and then you could use what you have and then take care of others. But it takes a while to learn that, because we think we're here and we're always taught, to take care of others. Oh, you're selfish if you take care of yourself. Oh, you got to take care of others. But that, I found, is not true.
It's not true. And And logically, I think we all know that it's not true, but in practice, it's a really hard truth to have in your heart.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I mean, you fly in an airplane and they say put your air mask on first before you try to help anyone else, because if you're not taken care of, then you're no good to anyone else.
Absolutely.
And I believe that in nonprofit, I believe that in business, I believe that in every area of your life. And that's something that I struggle with myself. Like I'm so passionately believe it because I know I so passionately am really bad at it.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I need to, I need to take care of me. Oh, okay. I guess that's, but it's true. And I love that you have that focus. So how does it feel to you? You're an empower. You empower people to succeed. That's what I'm an empower. My job is to help other people succeed. So how does it feel when you see these baby nonprofits, or maybe not even a nonprofit yet, just this baby idea, and you're able to help somebody turn it into an actual successful thing? Like give me some examples.
For me, it's mixed. I have to say that it's mixed, and the reason why I say it's mixed for me, and I was, as you said, I was thinking about some of the nonprofits I've been working with, because sometimes when they're online, they're like, "Yeah, I'm doing this." I'm like, "Yeah, this is so wonderful. I'm so proud of you." Then they'll come in the next day and they're like, "Oh, Vannessa, I'm so stressed." I'm like, "I know. I'm so sorry. I told you it was going to be hard. I am so sorry. I don't know what to." You know? So it's really mixed emotions, because part of me wants to say, what you have to offer in the world is amazing and people need it. And another part of me wants to say, go save yourself, because it's really true. I want to come from people from the truth. I don't want for people to believe that this is all roses and it's going to be wonderful. And they get out here in this journey and realize it is one of the most devastating things that they may have to do. I want to be truly transparent. I see a lot of people saying, hey, start your nonprofit and you can do this and this and this and this and that. But no one really talks about all the other things that comes along with it. And I want to be that one that says, hey, run, save yourself.
Save yourself.
Yes. That piece of pleasure. But it's so pleasurable, when you see those kids who have graduated from school. I've watched kids that goes from coming in and not have any direction, leaving with their master's degree. And then I've seen these kids that come in and they're involved with gangs and they're forced to do things that they don't want to do. And they come and they say, I need your help because I don't want to go and hurt anybody tonight, but I'm being forced to. So things along that line. So when you're there to support them, and then when you have staff and you see them coming in as interns, and then when you see them leave, they're leaving and they are just amazing people. And the funny thing is the young lady who's running the organization now, she started as an intern back in 1997 with the organization.
Oh, wow.
She left and got her degrees and all this and that, and now she is the CEO. So things like that, it makes it amazing. So you pass the torch and you see the lives that you touch and you don't even realize that you've touched the lives along the way. And then to be able to say, okay, I did what I needed to do. So I can come down here and I can believe in I believe in myself. Like all of us believe what we're doing is our purpose and our passion and why we came down to earth, right? But it can just beat us up so bad. We're like, I am going over here selling hot dogs on the corner. I am not doing that no more. But at the end of the day, when you're trying to say goodbye to this earth, you're like, did I do what I came down here to do? Or did I coward and run? Because for me, I believe Earth is a learning portal, a learning place where we're supposed to learn. And it ain't supposed to be easy, This is not supposed to be easy. And so,
no one ever said life was going to be easy, and no one ever said life was going to be fair. That's just the way it is. Whenever somebody says that's not fair, I'm like, I don't know who told you it was supposed to be.
Who said it was supposed to be fair? Nope.
Yeah, just do what you got to do.
Just do what you got to do. Yes, ma'am. So
I originally met you because you hired me to build a virtual escape experience for your nonprofit.
Yes.
And that was 3 years ago, something like that. Yeah. And then I got to know more about you. And I even got to meet you in person, your husband and my husband, and and Isla. We all got together and had breakfast, and it was really, really fun. Yes. But the more I get to know you, the more I get excited about how much knowledge and wealth of information that you have. And people, if you are in any way thinking about a nonprofit, they should schedule a meeting with you. You know, have that first conversation and see how Vannessa can help you. You know, I know she says run for your life, but but really what she's saying is go in with your open eyes and know what you're getting yourself into, and know that there is support available. And how can they find you, and what is the one thing you want everybody to kind of leave our audience with today?
They can find me at nonprofittransformers.com. And that's where they can find me. And what I want to leave you with is that your purpose and your passion is so amazing. And if you have it in you, you are brilliant. And to go out there and do it and live it, it's not impossible. You know how people say, if I can do it, you can do it. I was 21 years old when I started a nonprofit, not knowing where it was. And think about it, back there in the day, it was not meant to be. But if I can do it, you can truly do it. And you don't have to do it alone. I'm here to support you. And there's so many people out here that will support you. But you got to put that skin in the game. You know, you got to put skin in the game. So it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be rewarding. It's like a roller coaster.
I would start a nonprofit before I would ride roller coasters, but no.
Yeah, that's me.
Vannessa, as always, it was so amazing to chat with you. And you can also find Vannessa if you go to globalbusinessplaza.com. You can find her thumbnail there, or you can go to the bottom and find her in the directory. But however you find her, make sure that you do find her, because she is definitely worth having a conversation with and seeing how you guys can work together. Vannessa, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate all that you do, Peggy. You do so much. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate hanging out with you. So we'll talk to you soon.
All right.